Hello, my name is Tina Apostolopoulos, Principal of Our Lady of Sion College. Welcome to this information presentation and thank you for your current service or interest in being a volunteer at our school. Our volunteers provide an integral support for our students and are an important link to the wider community. This volunteer induction presentation provides current and prospective volunteers with an understanding of the college's expectation in regards to 4 key areas. Firstly, our college culture. Secondly, general expectations of all who support or work in a voluntary capacity within our community. Child safe standards, which are not only a legal obligation, but a means of creating an environment that is protective, safe and secure for our students. And workplace health and safety procedures and processes designed to ensure the safety of all within our school, including volunteers whose support we very much value and appreciate. Our Lady of Sion College has a long and proud history of educating young women within the Box Hill area since 1928. We're a Catholic school conducted within the traditions of the Sisters of Our Lady of Sion, and central to these traditions are the biblical values of compassion, justice, reconciliation, peace and love, which form the central principles for all that we do. The college works towards the full flourishing of each student. Each young woman will be offered a range of opportunities to help her achieve her best and to become a confident individual who is filled with hope, who has the courage to speak the truth and the energy to act for positive change within our world. It is expected that all staff and volunteers will uphold our Catholic and Sionian traditions and beliefs by the following ways: supporting the college's student-centred priorities and decision-making, and understanding that at times what is convenient for volunteers may not be in the best interests of our students. For example, the timing of events or the way in which they are conducted. Respecting all members of the community and the college itself, and understanding that we have a right to a good name. If you have a concern about any aspect of the work, please speak with the supervising member of staff, one of the deputy principals or myself. This way we can find solutions together. We believe that our college runs in a transparent and ethical way, and we are aware that at times you may be privy to information about staff, students or the school plans. Please remember that under privacy legislation, this information should not be discussed with anyone, especially outside of the college. We would also ask that our staff and volunteers interact in a respectful way with each other and with our students. Again, if there are any concerns, please direct them to the appropriate member of staff. In regards to general expectations, Our Lady of Sion College believes that our volunteers will always aim to undertake their role to the best of their ability, and for this we are very grateful. Please don't undertake tasks for which you don't have the time or expertise to perform. We ask that you understand the boundaries of your role and to not go past these. This may include undertaking extra jobs, giving advice, or in your interaction or relationship with students. I ask that you report any concerns to myself or one of the deputy principals as soon as possible. If you are concerned about a student's wellbeing, please contact Christine Corral, our Deputy Principal Student Wellbeing, immediately. Regular communication with staff, especially in regards to reporting risks, is vital to ensuring you and our community are supported in a respectful and timely manner. In 2016, the Victorian Government introduced the Ministerial Order No. 870, along with the new Child Safe Standards, which set out the minimum requirements for schools in relation to child safety. Child Safe Standard 4 and Clause 10 of the Ministerial Order relates to staff screening, selection, supervision, training and other human resources practices that reduce the risk of child abuse by new and existing personnel, including employees, volunteers and contractors. The Child Safe Standards require schools to gather, verify and record a person's history of working with children. The college takes child safety very seriously, and for this reason, volunteers are required to list their entire work history, including any voluntary work involving children. The 2005 Working with Children Act also requires that any person undertaking child-related work must have a valid Working with Children check. The college already requires that all school volunteers have this check, so there is no change to this requirement. The college also has developed a volunteers application pack which includes our child safety policy, code of conduct and information and application forms. Volunteers are expected to complete the required documentation and process. These expectations are compulsory and are aimed to ensure the protection of children from abuse and neglect. As volunteers at Our Lady of Sion College, we know that you will understand that you need to meet the same standards as staff and contractors. The intake process for volunteers is similar to employing a member of staff. While we will interview new volunteers, all volunteers will be provided with our child safe policy, undertake reference checks, and will need to provide the college with a copy of their current Working with Children check and a signed copy of the Code of Conduct. To assess your suitability to work with children, the college will complete a short interview with new volunteers. This will occur with a senior member of staff at a mutually convenient time. In the application pack, you've been asked to provide the college with the name or names of suitable referees. Please let referees know that we'll be contacting them after the interview and that most of the questions will focus on your suitability to work with children. All volunteers must have a volunteer Working with Children check that can be obtained free of charge from the Government Working with Children website. You'll not be able to start your volunteer work until you have presented the college with a copy of your Working with Children check. In your application pack, you've been provided with the college's child safety policy. Please ensure that you read this document before the interview. We ask if during your work you have a concern about the well-being of a student that you contact myself or one of the deputy principals. It is important that you do not delay reporting concerns about child abuse. Depending on the nature of your concern, you may be asked to write down your observations and the nature of the concern. As significant adults in the lives of our students, it's important that we take every step to protect them from abuse. We've also provided you with a college code of conduct. It's very important that you read and abide by the behaviours outlined in the code. At the very least, you are asked to be mindful of the areas within which you work and to not develop any inappropriate relationship with students nor enter into any conversations of an adult nature with them. Our students are friendly and enjoy adult company, but sometimes they need to understand that there are boundaries in regard to behaviour and the role that others play in their lives. Avoid getting involved in conversations that are overly personal or involve the student using you as a confidant. Never take photos of students, share contact details such as your mobile phone number or details of social media accounts with our students. Naturally, working under the influence of alcohol or illegal drugs is prohibited. If you have further questions about the expectations pertaining to the child safety policy and code of conduct, you are strongly encouraged to ask them during your interview or direct your questions to our Deputy Principal of Student Wellbeing. Staff and volunteers are often the first to know about workplace health and safety risks. In such cases, we ask that you report any concern or risk to the relevant member of staff as soon as possible. If you're unsure about a task that you need to perform, please ask for clarification or for training. Volunteers are expected to work in a way that protects the safety of staff, students and of themselves. So it's important that volunteers undertake tasks and perform them as instructed. Volunteers owe a duty of care to take reasonable measures to ensure that their acts or omissions do not cause reasonably foreseeable injury to members of the college community or loss or damage to college property. Once again, you're encouraged to report concerns to your immediate school contact or senior member of staff. Volunteers are always encouraged to ask questions and seek explanation or further training as applicable for their role. So please remember that if you don't feel it's safe, stop what you're doing and ask for clarification. Finally, if you have any questions that cannot wait until your interview, or perhaps questions that arise after it, please know that you're most welcome to email me at principal@sion.catholic.edu.au and a member of the college will get back to you as soon as possible. Once again, thank you for generously sharing your time, skills and talents with Our Lady of Sion College. We do appreciate your interest in our school and very much look forward to furthering our relationship with you. Thank you.